Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Teen Wolf episode 10 video. There was a whole lot of stuff that happened, including them changing the air date of the episode to be before the VMAs. They decided to air it ahead of the VMAs just because I guess they thought everyone would be sleeping through Monday. It was a little bit weird, and I feel like all the people who watched the VMAs were probably already Teen Wolf fans, so it seems a little ridiculous. But whatever, let's talk about the one true alpha. So careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to start with my top 5 moments, so I'll wait just a sec. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. Number 5, Brett is back. It was a nice callback to the events of episode 5. Remember, Brett is from Liam's old school, and even though Scott kinda saved his life, he's still got a giant chip on his shoulder. I'm a little bit confused about the Liam Rage situation, but I'm assuming those two have buried the hatchet in someone's face. Remember, Deadpool. But things have escalated to the point where assault teams of hunters are now going after packs. It did seem like Brett and that girl, who may or may not have been his sister, were part of Satomi's pack, or they might become part of a new pack, because I think that Satomi's old pack was completely killed out by the virus. I feel like Brett was a stand-in for rage-faced Liam in the episode, because whenever you have like a team-based episode and there's a war going on, one of the characters has to go crazy. It's like Reservoir Dogs. One of the team members has to flip out. It's like an unspoken TV rule. Speaking of which, number 4, Liam is still losing his mind. It was totally sweet to see Scott step up and be the big brother when Liam went into puppy mode. Like he wants to crawl under his bed and just hide till it's all over. I do think it was good that they let Scott acknowledge all their dead friends. You know, not everyone gets a happy ending. I think Liam's story was just all about setting up a big hero moment in the last 2 episodes. Like he'll figure out how he fits into Scott's world and start to think of the pack as his true family and take the call to action, you know, turn into a hero. Derek, Liam, Kira, even Brett, they'll all be back for season 5. The real person that I think is marked for death is Satomi, which leads me to number 3. Satomi is an alpha without a pack and 3 things that won't stay hidden. I feel like her 3 things were the foreshadowing that she's going to sacrifice herself to save Scott. Who else here feels like of all the crazy things that could go down in the finale, Peter will get his alpha powers back and be like a crazy villain in season 5? Obviously he said he wants to kill Scott, but there are 2 alphas on the show right now, and of those 2, which one do you think that the show is going to keep? Spoiler alert, probably the star of the show. I didn't really see it quite as clearly until Satomi explained the sun, the moon, and the truth to Chris. Instead of being this really zen mantra, it sounded like Satomi truly believes that her wolf nature will ultimately consume her and she'll start ripping everyone up, like she did in the flashbacks to Oak Creek. When you look at a genre show like Teen Wolf, there are just a couple big arcs that you can give characters. There are hero arcs, villain arcs, and tragic arcs. Hero arcs are for people like Liam, someone who accepts the call to action to become a hero, and then the villain arcs are for people like Peter, when they show their true nature. And tragic arcs are for the people who are destined to die. They've been teasing Derek, but I think that Satomi is the real one that's gonna die. Derek is a whole different story. I feel like his tragic arc is a false positive. Like he's not gonna end up dying, and he'll turn the situation around and either get his powers back or find a way to contribute without them. But on to benefactor craziness. Number 2, Peter interrogates Meredith. Based on the way they presented it, it seems like Peter is lying about inceptioning Meredith to enact the Deadpool list. Meredith always wants to help, so I believe her more than I believe him. I'm still trying to decide which explanation I like the most. You know, Meredith is the true villain and she was lying about her disability the whole time, or Peter was lying about inceptioning her. I think Peter's only half lying. Yes, I do think he was lying about inceptioning Meredith. He probably used his alpha powers to ghost whisper Meredith whenever he was in the hospital. I think that was intentional. You have to remember, when he was in that coma, it was like he was trapped in a holodeck. Like he had complete control of his mind, he just couldn't move his body. I do not think that he was lying about going crazy. I think he was being honest about that. He definitely went very crazy in that coma. The reason I think that he was able to inception Meredith is because she had just been taken to the hospital too, so she was in a state of shock and just completely open to his psychic attack. But let's talk about Peter going crazy. Under normal conditions, I think he's lawful neutral. He could go either way, you know, bad or good, but after the fire, whenever he was trapped inside his own body, he went chaotic evil. He had a dark fantasy about taking power that he may or may not have enacted, but once he went into the coma, he just got pushed over the edge. So yes, he is responsible for everything, but had he not been almost burned to death, he probably would have come up with some other less crazy plan that didn't involve killing so many people. Like he still would have tried to take power, he just wouldn't have been so maniacal. I always think that he's going to be the true villain of the series, as he should be, but part of the fun is that he could go either way. Like he's neutral. He can help people and he can hurt them at the same time. He can jump back and forth between good and evil as it suits him. He's like the Tom Hiddleston Loki of the series, except that he does not enjoy chaos quite as much. He wants control. It's all about order and control. Which leads me to my number 1 WTF moment. Peter wants to kill Scott to get his alpha powers back. I should say tried to kill Scott to get his alpha powers back, but that's not the end of the story. Did anyone else wonder after that scene between Peter and Kate if he somehow secretly orchestrated the fire that killed his family too, like so many years ago? I just think it would be a masterstroke of villainy to give that to the character. He's definitely playing Kate either way, just like he's playing everyone else, but them working together seemed like it only just started this season, so it's kind of hard to tell. That moment where they talked about killing Scott gave me the vibe though that they've been working together a lot longer than that. It was all about the fact that Peter did not explain Meredith to Kate, like she already knew what Meredith was doing, her involvement in the plan. And during the dream sequence, whenever Peter was ranting about Talia taking the family downhill, got me thinking. He wanted to take control of the pack, but he needed to get rid of her, so he contacts Kate to seduce Derek as the teenager, and then convinces Kate to set the fire. If it's true that they've always been working together, Kate and Peter, I think that it was definitely Peter's idea to set the fire, not Kate's. That would definitely make her character a lot more sympathetic, or at least seem less crazy, and Peter would be a much grander villain. Like I said though, I don't think they're going to be able to kill Scott, and I think that he's still going to get his alpha powers back by killing Satomi. There are a number of other ways it could totally go down, but in order to make Peter a viable threat in Season 5, he has to power up somehow, which means he has to kill another alpha. But let me know what your favorite moment is, and let me know, do you think that Peter is going to get his alpha powers back in the finale? I know I didn't mention the yellow flower, but does anyone else feel like this is super Wolfsbane or something? Like a Wolfsbane A-bomb. A measure of last resort. It was being grown in the Argent's warehouse, so it has to be a weapon of some kind, and the only plant-based weapon on the show right now is Wolfsbane. Normal Wolfsbane is purple though, so why is this plant yellow? That actually kind of makes me feel like they're going to get to the point in the finale where Chris feels like it's a lost cause and it just sets the bomb off to just wipe the slate clean. Overall, I gave the episode a solid B+. I love the interrogation scene with Peter and Meredith. Great, crazy flashback. I always love Peter being crazy. It felt like everything else in the episode was just B-story. I did enjoy the setups for the big characters, and I'm really looking forward to Liam getting his big hero moment in the finale. Derek's also learning to contribute without powers, which is a big teaser for Season 5, I think, and I really love that they left the Kate-Peter connection a little vague, like it's still unclear as to how long they've been working together, even though I do think that Peter is playing her for the fool. All in all, I've been really happy with the way they kind of got rid of a lot of the supernatural aspects of the story from 3B. It just made the characters a lot more relatable, just to give them human problems. And making Peter the big villain again is always going to be the most fun configuration the show can have. As much of a bummer as it is to see Derek losing the thing that made him special, I think it's a smart move if he's going to stay on the show, which I think he is. I think he'll be back for Season 5. Scott's always going to be the one true alpha, despite what Peter says, so it really narrowed down the places you could take Derek's character. So now in Season 5, Derek has like a whole new Derek that he has to learn how to be, which I think is going to be just rich territory for him. It's like a reverse Liam arc. Liam learns how to fit in with his new powers. Derek learns how to fit in without his powers. Like I said, Teen Wolf Buddy Cop spinoff with Chris Argent, Derek, and Braden. It would be the most amazing show ever. I didn't include Parrish in that just because you can't have a Parrish show without Lydia, and Lydia is always going to stay with the pack. But final thoughts are that I'm very excited about the last 2 episodes. It's been a great season, way better than 3B in my mind. But let me know what your final thoughts are on the episode and what you're looking forward to seeing in the last 2 episodes. And if you haven't seen, I've been posting updates on Facebook and Twitter. I'm moving this week to a new apartment. I'll do a room tour video as soon as I'm done, but I'm a little bit behind on videos. My next Teen Wolf will post next week, so be sure to subscribe to get it if you're just finding me for the first time. But I've got some Marvel videos that I'm doing tonight. Donald Glover is actually going to get to be Spider-Man, so the inner pipes are leaking a little bit. It's going to be really interesting to talk about. I'll totally explain what's going on with that, but right now, click here to get last week's Teen Wolf, and click here to catch up on Doctor Who. If you haven't been watching it, they just started Series 8, Episode 1 aired. It is amazing. You have to watch it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.